Hello student, again this is Professor Amulya Skalekar from Department of Computer Science CMCS Yavatmal. In today's session, we are going to discuss the next point in unit number 4 of subject Distributed Database System, and the title of our today's discussion is the Distributed File System, and within that we will see the concept of caching. Okay, so let's start with the point, that is the caching. So dear students, in a client server system, each with its own memory and the disk, there are four potential places to store the files or the part of files. That is the server's disk, then after the server's main memory, the client's disk, or you can say on the client's main memory. So these are the different ways on which we can store the files in the client server environment. That is either on the server's disk, either on the server's main memory, और on the client disk और on the client's main memory. तो इन चार अलग अलग तरीकों से अपन क्या कर सकते हैं, मेन मेमोरी में फाइल्स को स्टोर कर सकते हैं. ओके, नाउ द मोस्ट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड प्लेस टू स्टोर ऑल द फाइल्स इज ऑन द सर्वर्स डिस्क. मतलब जो पॉसिबल तरीका है जिसमें यू कैन स्टोर द फाइल्स इज द सर्वर्स मेन मेमोरी और यू कैन से द सर्वर्स डिस्क. ओके, तो इस हिसाब से आप इसको फाइल को स्टोर कर सकते हैं. तो ये जो चार अलग अलग तरीके हैं, इन तरीकों को यू कैन सी विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस फिगर. ओके, सो when we are having this kind of technique in order to store the files, then there is generally plenty of space and the files are often accessible to all the clients. Furthermore, with the only one copy of each file, no consistency problems can occur in this technique. Okay, now the problem with using the server disk is the performance. मतलब जब भी आप इस तरीके से स्टोर करने के लिए या फिर स्टोरेज के लिए सर्वर की डिस्क का इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपको एक प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, वो प्रॉब्लम है परफॉर्मेंस का. सो बिफोर द क्लाइंट्स रीड अ फाइल, the server must first be transferred from the server's disk to the server's main memory, and then after again over the network to the client's main memory. Now both the transfer does take certain time interval. Here a considerable performance gain can be achieved by caching, that is by holding the most recently used files in the server's main memory. Again, a client reading a file that happens to be the server's cache eliminates the disk transfer, although the network transfer still has to be done in this situation. Now, as the main memory is invariably smaller than the disk, some algorithms are required to determine which files or the parts of files should be kept in the cache. ओके, मतलब कैच में कौन से फाइल को और कौन से फाइल के किसके कौन से पार्ट को स्टोर करना है, इसके लिए अपने को अलग अलग एल्गोरिदम्स को यूज करना पड़ सकता है. ओके, नाउ दिस एल्गोरिदम हैज जनरली टू मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स टू सॉल्व. फर्स्ट, दैट इज टू डिटरमाइन द कैच और टू मैनेज द कैच. Again, it can be either the whole files or disk, both blocks. Again, if the entire files are cached, they can be stored continuously on the disk by allowing the high-speed transfers between the memory and the disk, and generally gives you the good performance. The second algorithm must decide what to do when the cache files or the cache fills up and something must be evicted. Again, any of the standard caching algorithm can be used in this situation, but because cache references are so infrequent compared to the memory references, an exact implementation of LRU using the linked list is generally suitable in such types of situations. So again, having a cache in the server's main memory is easy to do so and totally transferred to the client environment. Now again, as the server can keep its memory and the disk copies synchronized, from the client's point of view, there is only one copy of each file, so no inconsistency problem can happen in these circumstances. Okay. Again, although the server caching eliminates a disk transfer on each access, it still has the network access. The only way to get out of this situation of the network access is to do the caching on the client side. If the designers decide to put the cache in the client's main memory, three different options are open as to precisely where to exactly put it. The simplest is to cache the files directly inside the user's process own address space. Okay, so that you can see with the help of this figure, we are having the different ways. First one is where the catching is not done. Now the second figure shows the catching within each process. Then after the figure C, catching in the kernel, and finally the figure D, the catch manager as the user processes. So dear students, these are the various ways of doing the catching in the client's memory. Okay. So, as the files are opened and closed, read and written, the file simply keeps the most heavily used ones around so that when a file is reused, it may already be available for its proper utilization. When a process exists, it all modifies the files are written back to the server. Although this scheme has an extremely low overhead, it is only effective if individual processes opens and close the files repeatedly or frequently. Again, a database manager process might fit this description, but in the usual program development environment, most processes only read each file only at once, so catching within the library wins nothing. Okay, so students, these are the various points as far as the catching is concerned. Thank you.